Hello, she's Trixie, and I'm Sarah, and this is Our Yarn World, a place we come to share the love of yarn crafts and all that it gives us and what we hope it gives you. We're on episode 217, is that what you said?
Yep. Yep.
She always tells me, every single time before we film, Sarah, it's this number. Then she turns on the camera, and I'm always just like, 217. So, yes, and it's been really fun this week.
I will be right back.
She just turned around and realized she left her project. And here's why. We're on the 4th installment of our Stitch Away Stress Month. And because the month of April, amongst other awarenesses, is Stitch Away Stress Month, meaning that we recognize the hobby that is yarn and weaving and thread, just anything that revolves around thread, yarn, that craft of choice. And what historically it has meant in being able to be a grounding craft, a grounding hobby, and a stress relieving hobby. The way that there has been so many studies in psychology to be able to prove that this hobby is is linked to stress relief.
Yes.
It's just so powerful and incredible to be able to be like, hey, it's, in some ways, this is just, in some ways, just as effective as other forms of therapy, other forms of mental health interventions, because it is grounding you. It helps you. It's very tactile. It not only something that you can feel, but it has a specific smell. It has a lot of sounds. You can feel the yarn moving across maybe different surfaces. It also is visual because you're able to see it, and you can just even take the time that if you're looking at a project and you need to say something, you can just start naming all the colors.
Yeah.
You can name all, like, the grounding principle is normally trying to activate the 5 senses, right? You're trying to activate your sense of feel, your sense of hearing, taste, smell, and vision. The only thing you might not be able to do is taste, but in some ways, most crafters, when they're crafting, normally have a beverage close by or a candle on or something, right? Like, it's meant to be relaxing, and the whole point is that it engages your body into a fixed point of focus, and allows to anchor you in that moment to be able to make something for the future that not only will spark joy but serve as a need taken care of. In a lot of ways, I think of that in every single thing I do. I might make toys, I might make pillows, I might make wall hangings. They might not be the same form of I'm grabbing at them all the time to cover myself up with, like some of your Afghans or scrappy blankets. But I have come to terms with the fact that sometimes every single craft that is made fills a spot, a need that even if you didn't know that you needed it, when you pass it on to the next person, it fills a need that they might have had. A spot on the shelf that sparks joy, a wall hanging that fills a void that sparks inspiration or just calm. There's so many different things, and I am no longer going to define that for other people. Art is what you make of it. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. And a lot of the times, creators, even if they're not sure why they're making it, in some ways, it always seems to find the person that it needs.
Yeah.
And my mom, I would say that is most of your journey. How many blankets have you had? And then all of a sudden, your daughter-in-law, my sister-in-law, will contact you being like, I have an auction for a benefit for some family who's trying to navigate cancer treatment for a family member.
Yeah.
Someone who's going out of retirement, but they lost something with their pension. Something
Yeah.
where it's like, and she's able to be like, well, here's a couple Afghans because
Yep.
people like homemade things.
Yep.
And, or you'll have them in your closet for about a year, and all of a sudden you meet someone for the first time and you're like, I made something like a year ago that I feel is like you, is
Yeah.
your vibe. And they grab it and they feel so much comfort and love.
They don't even let go of it.
No,
the whole
they-
time they're here.
They normally hold on to it like a teddy bear, like Linus with their blanket. It's
Yep.
really fun. They normally,
Yeah.
you can tell what it means to them.
Yeah.
And I think that speaks to the nature of it. It reminds, and I will say this and then I'll let you get to yours. It reminds me of the same thing as the people that will always talk about knowing the difference between a store-bought cookie and a homemade cookie.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. Store-bought cookies are fine if you're in a pinch or you just don't want to have to cook.
Yeah.
You're allowed to have that ability to self-love and just be like, I just need a break. But there is something about someone who puts that effort in.
Yeah.
It's like nothing else.
Exactly.
So, sometimes we just have to recognize what it is and what it means and why we love it so much.
And why we do it.
So,
So
take it away.
I am still working on the dress. I don't remember where. I think I was just starting in the round at the bottom. And
Oh, you're going in around now?
I have, no, well, I'm
Back and forth.
yeah, the back and forth.
She's now doing the skirt, but she's not doing it in the round. She is creating a seam so that there isn't a bit of that natural dip that happens in circles that go in a perfect round because you can tell the little hump where
Yeah, the jaunt.
where the one the higher row is to the other. My mom likes to have a bit of a straight line.
Yeah.
So she's creating a straight line seam.
So I keep turning it like I would a blanket. I make the end stitch, I chain one, and I turn
fold
it.
around. It works.
And I don't have that jaunt, and it's straight around.
Is the seam good?
Yeah. Let me find it.
In fact, you even have to find it.
Yeah,
Oh, I
it's right
see.
here.
I see it. Here. That's not that bad.
Right.
I can barely see that.
Right.
I also think because she has a much lighter tension gauge, that might be working in your benefit because
Right.
mine would never look like that. I can tell you that right now.
So I have the top,
Love that.
and here I'll show you.
Right now,
All the way around.
right now it's looking like a bandeau dress. My mom plans to put straps on it.
Yeah. And then here is the bottom.
So pretty. I love the feel of this cotton.
Right. And it's 100% cotton. It's I don't have a label here. But I got it from Hobby Lobby. I don't have the label here. But
I think it's Love This Cotton or
no, it's not that one. But let me see. I think I have one more over there. Just one moment.
Yep. My mom's been working a lot with cotton recently, so because if you remember those placemats that she was making, I think was the I Love You cotton that she
I
was
love
talking.
this cotton.
I love this cotton.
Yes.
So what is this one?
So this one is Yarn Bee, and it's sugar wheel cotton.
Oh.
And it's in the colorway Neptune Haze.
Okay.
And it's got all of these colors in it. So because it just naturally transitions, you don't have to worry about that.
Yep.
And with this, I wanted the top to be this way, but the bottom is just turning out so well.
It is.
And I have made the last increase row that I needed to make, and I only made probably 3, possibly 4
That's not bad.
increase rows in this whole thing, and it was enough to get around the curviness of myself. And so I'm just going back and forth and doing each row as it comes and just doing the stitches and having fun. Now I am on the fourth one of these. I only had bought 5 because that was all that was on the shelf at the time. I may have to go back to Hobby Lobby and get more to make the length that I want the dress to be. But I'm so happy with it so far, and I just love the colors that this is, and I love how it transitions. They have different combinations of colors, but for some reason, well, if anybody's like me, they're gonna pick all of the yarn up at the same time to make what they're trying to make, and so there wasn't very many left on the shelf for me to choose. Like, there was like 3 of one color and 4 of another color. This one was the only one with 5, and I thought, well, I could probably do quite a bit with it, and I can see where I am, and if it's long enough to wear, maybe a 5 would do, but I'm just not sure. And I really do like the longer dresses. So, and if I'm being honest, I just really want something that I can wear, that I'm gonna feel good in, and I don't want to compromise on the length of it if I don't have to.
No.
So I may
Shouldn't
have to. I may have to get a couple of more, but it's worth it to me, and I don't care even that it's a little bit more expensive, because I don't buy clothes for myself all that often. So if this is something for me that I'm going to be wearing for years to come, I'm happy with even having to pay just a little bit extra. And it's homemade, and it's tactile, and it's just something, it's going to be a good memory for me, because now I have a pattern to go off from. And you can do this too. Now I'm going to reiterate, I have told you this before, but I'm going to do it again. This pattern is just basically, you find where you want it to start, and you go down your torso to where you want it to end for the top. You make that amount of stitches, you chain that many, and then you start going back and forth until it fits all the way around your bodice. Connect it, join it with a slip stitch, and then you make on
the perimeter, you make a new foundation.
Yeah. You make your new stitches
by single crocheting and just making your own foundation in the perimeter, so that is now where you're crocheting off of.
Yes. And then you keep going, and what I have been doing is, when I get to the point where it needs to connect, I slip stitch, I chain 1, and I turn it.
Yep.
And then you're just going back around until you find that stitch again where you started, and you slip stitch, you chain 1, and you turn it. And that way you don't have that little jaunt. And it's working well, and I'm having a ball, and it changes color on its own, and you can find your colors, you can do your thing. I think this would work well in ombres, and but I'm not sure cotton. I haven't seen cotton in ombres. There may be, and I just don't know about it. So if you can find those, that would be an awesome way to make a dress too. But the colors that change by themselves are, I think, genius. If you want to make it in a single color too, yeah, that works too. So, and I think this has got quite a nice drape. This yarn is soft. For cotton, it's very, very soft to work with, and it's, I don't know. I'm finding it so fun to work with. And it says to use a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook. I've been using a 5 because that's what I have, and it's working up just fine. Now, I did not put back loop onlys to make the stretch. I just use a half double crochet in this whole entire thing. That's all I've done, because I want it to fit and I don't want it to stretch. And it's going to do what it's going to do. Once I put it on, it's just going to do what it's going to do. But I plan to get a slip for underneath it because it is a crocheted item. And I think it's just going to be beautiful when I'm done. And I'm going to love wearing it. And I'm going to treasure it for a long time because I finally made it wearable. So I'm excited about this. And it's something new for me. And I just might start making wearables now.
And here's the thing. Something that I'm pretty sure you know. But for areas that might not wear right, for areas that might, and this is for any crochet project, that you want it to kind of become a little bit stretchier, or maybe be like, I want it to have that give, but I want it to kind of be able to conform so it's not just loose, or how have you. You want it to hang a certain way. You can get elastic yarn, elastic thread, crochet on the inside of your project, just a single chain into it by stretching out your material and then doing it.
Okay.
And then it will bounce back, and it's a crocheted thread, so it will move and help it be able to maintain structure.
Right.
But you're not sewing into it. You're actually crocheting the elastic thread where you need the little bit of tension.
Oh, okay.
But it still can pull out to its full form because it's crochet.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that way it kind of fits and falls the way you want it to.
Yeah.
And you can use crochet methods with still more extra materials that will help make it a little bit more flattering, or make it last longer so that it's not bowing or not stretching the way you want it to, and make it become unflattering, whatever. And that's just for any project. I'm not talking about yours.
Yeah.
Having a crochet thread into your wearable, even in the middle of your row where you know you're gonna want it to bunch or want it to do it, just be able to add it in.
Right.
It goes a long way. And I always thought that was really cool, that you could just add it in.
Right.
Just
That's
so
awesome. So what have you been working on?
Okay, so here's the thing. My mom brought up a very good point last week. And even after we turned off the camera, me and her brainstormed some things. So here's the thing. That green block that I had granny squared, I wanted to use for a very specific type of top that I was wanting to make. But it was made out of acrylic. And even though it was very soft and thin, kind of like a cotton, my mom's like, it's going to be very heavy. Like, this thing's going to be warm. There's just no way around it. Even if it's thinner, it's just like wearing a black shirt in a summer day. It can be as thin as the white shirt, or as thin as the yellow shirt that normally repels the sun. doesn't mean it's not going to trap in heat. The color just does that. The material just does that, no matter how thick it is. So I was like, well, I still want it to be a wearable. And so I remembered that there is a pattern for a like a vest that can be like pulled over like a button up and kind of like create layers and fun, that living in Michigan would still work and is a color I already like, so I can find a button up that will work for that at a thrift store, and it will pair very nicely. And that green would be really good for Christmas, like a moody green Christmas outfit. It's gonna work just fine. So we revamped what I already had so it can still be a wearable, but because I have not gotten more of that specific thing done, I could not bring it to show you today. And I was very busy today, so I brought what I could. For the other project that you've seen me do, that reading pillow. I was actively working on it last night and today. And I did not check my phone and realize that my mom was coming to pick me up early. And I was struggling because that green yarn that I was trying to kind of create the depth of my pillow to make walls so that it could work all the way around, it's thin.
Oh.
It's a thin acrylic, and so I'm trying to like make this chain work. And even for as tight of stitches as I make, there were so many holes, and what is it? The stuffing would have pulled right out of it. Now, I could have doubled the yarn, but I would be stuck with it because I was trying to do a trick to thicken the yarn. Then it was too thick. I could have go in the middle, but that was something I was trying to navigate when my mom ended up showing up before I realized. I also was looking at using a fabric because me and my mom were already playing with the idea that this pillow with all these different patterns I'm using in it would still look good if I use fabric for the walls too, just because it's supposed to be kind of like this hodgepodge of techniques and colors. And I found this faux fur fabric that I thought would be a cool texture for the wall, because if my kids are reading, it'd be fun for them to have something to feel and just touch while they're reading, so that they have something to kind of fidget with. Thought that might be fun addition to this project. And I was in the middle of doing that as well when she came. So I set that to the side. Right after filming last week, after all this and realizing I needed a cotton yarn if I'm going to make anything for summer related, I instantly ordered this cotton yarn. It's about 60% cotton, 30% acrylic, and 10% wool. So yes, there's some acrylic in there, but I even had my mom test it. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to be, it's not as if it was full acrylic. You can tell it's going to be a wearable yarn. And I'm making something I cannot wait for it to be done. I went to D&D the other night and I was working on it while playing, because if you've ever played D&D, because everyone's taking their own turn, I had time in between my character turns to be able to just craft. And it was just one of those things where I was like, I can just do this anywhere. It just doesn't matter. And I was just having so much fun.
Well, isn't that the way it's supposed to be?
But I have it in my D&D bag now because I'm like, well, this is craft that I can take anywhere. So I just have it in my active, take anywhere, like other things I do bag. And over the weekend, I've been on Pinterest, doom scrolling, crafting, my love for everything that is crafting is a endless black hole. Sucks me in all the time. So there's all these crafts I've been wanting to do, and a lot of them require the idea of dowels and weaving and the act of making dream catchers. Like I've been fiddling with all these things a lot recently, right? You've seen me do that, just checking in it. And I'm trying to be very respectful of the cultures that they come from and everything that come from, and learning that most cultures don't care if you make it, just don't appropriate it. Don't just make it to just...
And don't claim it's yours.
Yeah. But they have no problem with you enjoying the art forms of their cultures if you do it respectfully and for your family and for your home. So I was just like, cool. And a lot of the things I'm doing has no religious connotation. They're just much more of like traditional beliefs and practices that help to make the kids feel safe, or just different things that you do. And I just thought that that was really cool because I do those things with my kids too.
Right.
It's fun. With this though, it's a mandala art form, which is originated in India. A lot of it normally is done in like painting, and I think it's like maybe thread, like woven, or painting, thread, drawn, or I had another one, but I can't think of it. But a lot of these practices are done in a very specific way. And so I got dowels, and I saw a bit of a tutorial as to how to make something like this. And I just tried something small. I did not do something big because I just wanted to try it out. And it was just fun. I ended up getting these dowels. I was able to piece them together. I did the weave as you're supposed to do in all points. Then I was able to take my thread and kind of create this little staircase little pattern into each quarter. My dowels, I painted black on the tips with a Sharpie, and I was able to find these wooden beads I had that were already the same yellow as this. And I realized I could fit so that, because a lot of the ways that they suggested being able to, like if you're going to go all the way to the ends of the dowels, you need like a hot glue or something to make sure that the yarn doesn't fall off the dowel.
Yeah.
And because I didn't want to search through all my stuff to find my hot glue, I figured that, well, what if I just do the beads?
Yeah.
And I can just sew the beads on, which is what I did. I just put yarn in and I just tied it in the back. And I just made it a little wall hanging. I don't know whether I'm going to, it could be an ornament. I could just put this on my Christmas tree. This was just a small little taste of something I've been wanting to do. My mom's been seeing me post this stuff on my Pinterest for a long time.
Right.
And yeah, this is just a little weave. And I've been very careful because some of these projects do have, not this one, but a lot of these like more intricate, like symmetry based projects, some people do liken them to some religious connotations and stuff. So I've been very careful to make sure that I'm not tampering or making anyone upset. I'm just making something I thought is very visually stimulating and like kind of like a kaleidoscope, like when you're looking at those things in kaleidoscopes. I like that symmetry based art forms, and these weaves do that very well. But I recognize that they do have a history and they do represent certain religious and different connotations. So I am doing my research because the last thing I want is to have someone who's more educated than me walk into my house and be like, oh, so do you believe in this and this and this? And I'm like, I just did something I thought looked pretty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because this has a very long history.
Right.
These, not this one, but there's a lot of patterns that have a lot of history. So I'm making sure I even got some books, some mandala books coming in so that I know that these ones are just... They are just a regular art form. They're not anything that are connected to anything else. So,
and then show them how you finish the back.
It was very messy in the back. My first time doing it.
Right.
I'm hoping that the books will help me learn how to weave things in. Yeah. And I'm thinking, I said that what's it called? That tip last week. Yeah. Where you get the liquid stitch, where after you tie off, and you cut enough to be able to weave in an end, you get that end with a little bit of the liquid stitch, and when you weave it in, you can press down where it is hidden so that it locks in so that it doesn't unravel. Yeah. I might do that for this, but I did a specific weave. I didn't know how to weave it in without it showing in the front. Yeah. And I didn't know how to do it. And so I just kind of did a little, granny square, and I hit the back and protected all my stuff in the back. I just was trying to have fun. I'm really proud of this little guy for as simple as it is. I think it's very visually striking.
Yeah.
And I really think I might put it on my Christmas tree. I really like the idea of little forms of artwork. These just little homages to all these different cultures that have created such cool...
What did Daniel think of it?
He really liked it.
So he might be able to make you some of these too.
Well, the wall hanging that I'm making right now, yes, I'm making wall hanging on top of it because I saw another thing online, didn't know what I wanted to do with my wearable. The one wearable that I do have going was in my D&D bag. I didn't know how to do my crafting pillow because me and my mom were not arguing, but debating on what to do with the walls, and I was struggling with it. So I have another project going that I'm not showing you yet because when it's done, it's going to be so pretty. And I will have it done by next week because I'm obsessing over it right now. And my son's already claimed it for his room.
Well, there you go.
Because it has these same colors and his room is this blue.
Yeah.
And so...
Well, one wall is.
Well, yeah. And one of the main colors in the wall hanging is that blue. And so he's like, I was like, he's like, I really like this. Where are we putting it? I said, well, it's going to be a wall hanging. And I was like, Daniel, this is actually some colors in your room. Would you want it? And he's like, ooh, yeah, I really like that. I'd put it in my room. And this is my little 6-year-old kid, but he loves arts and crafts. Like this, he thought was really cool. My daughter actually took more of an interest into this one than Daniel did, actually.
Wow.
And I'm not saying that my daughter isn't crafty, but not the same hyperfixation like me and Daniel are.
Right.
He resonates with me on that point, whereas my daughter's more of like the critic that will come to me and be like, okay, I like this, but this is how I think you should have done better. She's a lot like her dad. Nothing wrong with it. I like it. But she was quite taken aback by this thing. She really liked it. And I think that if I got more of her colors and did something like this,
right,
she would really like it. Now, I do have bigger dowels. And when I get the books that teach me how to do this, I want to try a bigger one.
Yeah. And
maybe in her colors.
Yeah.
Because if I make one for like a wall hanging for each one of their rooms, I'm not causing an argument.
Right.
And these whip up a lot faster than you would think.
Yeah.
I really wanted, next time we do a crafting day, if I get really good at this, I really think the kids could do this.
I think so too. That'd be a good one.
Because these are really nice little homemade crafts, because we can make it a little, like I can teach you how to make it.
Right.
And we can make a little assembly line. So one adult teaches them how to start, pick their colors, get this. The next table would be start doing it to start to finish, and the next table would be the hot gluing, making sure that it's all finished, that the backs are on, and then they can take them home.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. Yeah.
It's just fun, and it's an accessible way to teach kids how to use yarn, because it's just a very specific way of teaching them how to wrap and patience. And when they see the color changes and they see how fast it can whip up, it's very visually stimulating. It's very soft. The yarn, feel those parts where the weaves. It's just a very stretchy, sometimes scratchy yarn becomes very soft and very like...
Well, you're working your finger oils into it, so maybe that softens it too. I don't know.
I don't know. I liked it. I like this little ornament, and I really just... I think it's a good ornament. Yeah, I think it's going to be my... I think I'm going to put it in my Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'll just pull it out during Christmas time.
Good idea.
So, yeah.
So, we do have a quote today, and I chose it because I think that what we've been doing during this month it's new things that we haven't tried before, and it's so this quote went right along with that. Making something with your hands is one of the most satisfying things you can do. And that again is by Unknown. Making something with your hands is one of the most satisfying things you can do. I mean, Sarah's showing you her new ornament. Me showing you my new dress. You know, it is so satisfying to make something with your own two hands.
Just, oh.
And so I clung to that one today.
Yes.
It was just like, oh my gosh, that's the perfect one for today.
Well, it's not just that. Me and my mom have been really nailing it into the that how much what we're doing is stress relieving. There's a lot going on in our lives right now, and nothing that is pertaining to the channel, nothing that if and when we share it, it's not going to affect the channel at all. We're still going to be filming, we're still going to be doing stuff, but it's just like a lot all at once. It's like all of the stress-filled things are happening in the same week.
Yeah.
And I don't understand that. Like, I was talking to my husband yesterday about how almost 5 or 6 different things and different groups of people and different things I have going on culminated in groups, people, contacts, all contacted me all yesterday. All at one, all within a certain amount of hours. Phone calls, text messages, reaching out, group chats, all these different things where it's like within a 12-hour period, I had things that don't pertain to each other all require some level of my attention or callback or referral all within the same day, whereas some of these people or some of these things I'm a part of haven't contacted me in weeks, haven't talked to me in days, whatever, and I'm stuck being like, why all at once? What happened today that made it the stars align? And when you find that after a hard day's worth of work, I'm focusing on things like this, it's because it's the one thing that I feel like I have control over and I can finish. It just...
I know. It is so worth having the peace of mind.
It's just...
Just having something to work with your hands.
Yes.
Just making sure that you are at rest and at peace with yourself.
Yes, so I always suggest to somebody, have something that you have. Whether it's reading, whether it's woodworking, whether it's yarn, whether it's running, whether it's coloring, whether it's writing, whether it's
drawing.
Anything. If you know yourself enough to know what gets you in the zone and in peace,
right,
and you're able to access it, just don't take it for granted. Because living without a coping mechanism for hard times is one of the worst things to experience. And it can make you, and I don't mean this in any hard way, but it can make you a very bitter person.
Yeah.
It just does. It's not intentional. I know it's not. It just is a result of not having some way of getting all the stress out of your body. You're going to become very bitter and resentful to anything that tries to ask anything of you, even if it's not that big of a deal, because there's just so much going on and it's trapped in here and it has no way out.
Right.
Give yourself the self-love to find something that allows you to get all that gunk out and into something.
And to make something beautiful with it.
Make something beautiful. So,
if you like this kind of video, then give us a thumbs up and comment. We love those comments.
yes.
And subscribe and tell your friends.
And as always, we thank you for joining us today. And until next week, we hope that you stitch your way
To mental health.
Bye-bye.